The Soweto Uprisings 46 years ago today, that's what we are continuing to celebrate. And how much celebrating is there to do? Well, that's exactly what we're looking at here on eNCA today. But I take you back to the movie. It was a watershed movie celebrating its 30th anniversary and remaining very popular. The names I gave you earlier, I'll give them to you again. Whoopi Goldberg, John Carney, Leleto Khumalo and Miriam Makeba. In fact, eNCA's sister channel ETV showed it on the big screen in Cape Town, Johannesburg and Durban. Yes, and now if you want to catch it, you can catch it on ETV at 3:05 this afternoon, just after 3 p.m. The movie we're talking about, of course, Sarafina. The movie-mogul Anant Singh producing the film, speaking to us about it. Now, hello to you, Anant. It's always good to have you on eNCA. Let me take something from the movie very quickly, if I could. The song, Freedom is Coming Tomorrow. Boy, it's been a lot of tomorrows between 1976 and today, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, it's iconic in what it represented in its day. And, when the show was written, when the song was written, it was very much a celebration of freedom, of Mandela. We were all under apartheid. And here we are, 30 years later, still having challenges, but, that freedom was and continues to come in different ways and continues to this day. It was fascinating watching it last night after 30 years with Leleto Khumalo, who plays Sarafina, and that remarkable performance of hers. But more importantly, everybody, the young people that shine so eloquently and so beautifully in the film. And to have some of them there was really a special evening.
I think for those that perhaps didn't see it when it came out all those years ago, I'm very happy to admit I'm no longer part of the youth per se, but this was a little bit before my time, even to go and watch this on the big screens back then as well. Just take us back to how this was received when it did come out all those years ago.
Well, we started planning this film just before Madiba was released. So I got the opportunity to meet with him shortly after his release, talk to him about what Sarafina, the film, what the idea and the ideology around Mandela being freed, our freedom, and that it was a musical celebrating the young people of '76 who rebelled against apartheid. And it was fascinating. Here we were in South Africa making this little film based on a musical by Bongani Ngema. And when we finished it, we took it to the Cannes Film Festival. And I was in Cannes a few weeks ago for the festival, and many people reminded me of how special it was having this little South African film show up and in this grand pavilion where you compete with the best films of the world. And we had a standing ovation of 20 minutes. We had Miriam there, we had Daryl, we had Leleto, Whoopi, everybody was there, and it was really a special evening. But I think when you come back to today and watching the film and watching it this afternoon on television, it really resonates so well and still commits to the journey of the young people then. And as you just went through earlier in the show, that the challenges of the youth are different today, but so prevalent in different ways. So I think this film represents some of those challenges then, and how to take this on and continue with hope.
The Sound of Freedom is what many people will say what this musical was all about as well. I see it's there on the bottom of the screen as well. What Anant is talking about, by the way, ETV going to have a special broadcast of Sarafina again at just after 3 p.m. today, 3:05, if you want the exact time. There it is there. Anant, just before I say goodbye to you, as well, we've spoken about the meaning of the movie from all those years ago. You reflected on what it still means today. We live in a bit of a new movie generation where everybody wants to redo the classics, don't we? Is there any chance, and should there be any chance, of Sarafina getting a 2022 reboot?
That's an interesting point. But I think it's not. I'm not going to do it. I've done the film I wanted. I have the people that really excelled in what it represented. If someone wants to do it at some point, they can present a proposal and see if they can do it better. I'm never one to say, okay, it can't be done. We've seen many musicals come back and be remade, but I think what this represents is every person in that film had a personal experience in 1990 that brought them to the screen in different ways, and their journey was represented in this film. And I think today, if you remake it, it's going to be a different film. I think the issues have to be different. So you don't need to remake Sarafina, just remake another film probably. But I think at the end of the day, what is good about Sarafina, the movie that we saw last night, was that it is timeless, that you can see it in 20, 30 years' time, and it will have a resonance because it celebrates the triumph of the human spirit and the journey of young people.
All you have to do is just watch one freeze frame of that movie and you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Sarafina producer Anant Singh, all these years later. Anant, thank you very much. I tried to see if you were going to say yes to produce a new Sarafina, but you've opened up the door for somebody else to do it. I really appreciate your time joining us this morning. Always great to have the legend Anant Singh joining us. Now, I'm not saying it should be redone, but as you heard from Anant, maybe there is a new version of Sarafina somewhere in the producing world.